In this video, we will learn about the gradient of a line. The gradient of a line is the steepness and the direction of the line. Let's first speak about the steepness of the line. Here we have three different lines. The first one is the less steep because the degree of inclination of that line is small. And the second line is more steep because the degree of inclination is higher than the first one. And the third line is the steepest because the degree of inclination is bigger than the first two lines. Let's speak about the direction. We have four cases in the direction. We have case number one, if the line is rising from left to right, and you have to consider it always from left to right. If the line is rising from left to right like that, the gradient will be positive. If the line is falling from left to right, the gradient will be negative. Case number three, if I have a horizontal line, it means the line is not rising and it's not falling, so the gradient will be zero. I didn't go up and I didn't go down. The last case, if I have a vertical line that doesn't have a degree of inclination, so the gradient is undefined, and later you will know that it will be undefined because it will be a number over zero. That's for the direction of the gradient or the sign for the gradient. Let's learn how to get the gradient from a line drawn in the coordinate plane like that line. That line is rising from left to right, so I know that my gradient will be positive. How to get the gradient? I will teach you a very simple way, which is the rise over the run. By getting any 2 points in a corner, like for example, I can take this point and that point. I don't take points in between squares so that will create decimal numbers. I need a whole number, an integer. So I got this point at the y-axis and this point, the other point. And I will move from one point to the other by just moving vertically and horizontally. Vertically, like I want to reach from the bottom point here to the second point, I will move like 3 steps vertically upward like this, and that will be my rise. Rise is like you moved 3 steps vertically upward. That is the rise, and it's positive because I moved up. Then from that point, I will move 2 steps right to reach the other point. That will be my run, and I moved 2 steps right. That will be positive as well. So my gradient will be 3 over 2 because I moved 3 steps up and then 2 steps right. That will be the rise over the run. Let's solve another example. Before I solve the second example, I know that my gradient will be negative because the line is falling from left to right. Let's get 2 points on the line as well. That point is in a corner, and I can take that point as well in a corner, and I will move from one point to the other. Let's start by the second point here. I will move one step down. Remember, when I move down, it will be a -1. And then I will move 2 steps to the right. That will be positive. So my gradient is -1 over 2 because I moved 1 step down, which is -1, and 2 steps right, which is +2. That is the rise over the run. Generally, if I move up or right, that will be a positive number. If I move down or left, that will be a negative number. You can scan this QR code and practice. It will be similar examples and you can check your answer.